I'm Sharon Savidson. Welcome to my podcast, Uplevel Your Life with Sharon. I'm a certified coach and a holistic practitioner. I'm also a mother of 2 adult children. I started this podcast so that I can give you bite-sized pieces and tools that you can take away with you, so that you can use these in your daily life. Today we're exploring something that affects everything. Your relationships, your decision-making, your physical health, and even your ability to reach your goals. And that is your feelings. So I want to begin by saying something that might surprise you. Most people don't really feel their feelings. They may think about their feelings, talk about them, even avoid them, but very few people actually stop to feel what's going on in their body. I'll say to a client, "What are you feeling?" And their response might be, "I think." And I'll say, "Well, I'm not really asking you what you're thinking. What are you feeling?" And people have a challenging time with that. Are you aware of the emotions that are going through you at any moment? Do you stop and go, "What am I feeling?" We may say, "I'm angry," or "I'm frustrated," or "I'm sad." But what's really going on beneath the surface? What does that mean? What does it mean I'm angry? Okay, you're angry. What if anger is just the top layer and underneath you might actually feel disrespected, dismissed, abandoned, rejected? Let's look at neuroscience and psychology. They agree that emotions live in the body first, that they show up as physical sensations like a tightness in the chest or a sinking in the stomach, tension in the jaw, before we even find the words to describe them. Dr. Antonio Damasio, a leading neuroscientist, found that emotion is essential for decision making. And without the ability to feel and process emotion, people struggle to make even simple choices. Why? Because emotions guide our attention, help us learn from our experience, and emotions motivate action. There's also fascinating research from the University of Turku in Finland, where participants were asked to map where in the body they felt different emotions. And the results showed consistent patterns across cultures, like anger lighting up the chest and arms, or sadness being felt in the limbs and heart. So why does this matter? Because when you ignore or suppress what you're feeling, that energy doesn't just disappear. It gets stored in the body. Over time, that unprocessed emotion can contribute to things like chronic tension, fatigue, anxiety, or even illness. And Bessel van der Kolk, author of The Body Keeps the Score, describes how trauma and emotions that aren't fully felt or processed remain locked in the nervous system, and how reconnecting to the body is often the first step to true healing. Today, we're not going to analyze or judge our feelings. This is not about overthinking or fixing anything. It's just simply about noticing with curiosity and compassion. We're simply going to notice our feelings, and then we're going to give them space. We're going to ask, what am I feeling? Where in my body do I feel it? And can I give it permission to be here for a moment? When we do this, something very powerful happens. The nervous system starts to settle. The intensity of the emotion decreases. And you begin to reconnect with your inner compass, the part of you that always knows what's true. So let's begin. Go ahead and close your eyes. And if you're somewhere where you can't do that, that's fine. You can come back to this, or you can just do it wherever you are. Just take a slow, deep breath in and exhale gently. And become aware of your breath. Now feel your body. Notice how it's resting wherever you are, whether you're on a chair, a sofa, a bed. We'll start by exploring a few common emotions, especially the ones we often try to avoid. And if you don't feel that emotion in the moment, one of the things you can do is simply recall a time when you did and notice what comes in or whatever. Let's begin. Let's start with anger. Where do you feel anger in your body? Where does it show up for you? Does it have a texture, a color, a temperature, a sound? What about sadness? Where does sadness live in your body? What does it feel like? Heavy, hollow, achy? What about fear? What does fear feel like? And where does it show up? How about shame? Is there a spot in your body where shame resides? Can you name the sensation? Anxiety? What does anxiety feel like? Where is it? Is it a buzzing? A tightness? Is it relentless? Do you ever feel envy? Where do you feel it? Does it create pressure or tension somewhere? How about disappointment? How does disappointment show up in your body? What about frustration? Where is frustration hiding? And what does it feel like physically? Take another deep breath in and gently exhale. You can open your eyes. Sometimes we're taught that it's wrong or bad to feel certain emotions, especially anger or frustration or sadness. But emotions are just energy in motion. When we resist or repress them, they often get stuck. And one powerful way to work with uncomfortable feelings is to give them space. So, in the future, you may want to just pause and ask yourself, what am I feeling? And then label what it is that you're feeling and notice what that does to your body. Thank you for being here today. I hope that this is something that you will use and that will make a difference to you. But I'd love to hear from you, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you for listening to this episode of Up-Level Your Life with Sharon. Congratulations on taking a step towards obtaining the knowledge and tools for your well-being and your success. But remember, knowledge alone isn't enough. And true transformation comes from consistent action. So what insight from today's episode will you be able to apply to your life? I'd love to hear from you. Please send me a message. And for more information, please visit my website at www.sharonsavitson.com. If this podcast has been helpful, please subscribe and share. And together we can up-level and inspire more people to live their best life.